be very appreciative of the devotees, not make offense to the devotees, whether young or old. We don't know who we are with in this world. And Gurudev expressed that on at different times. So the practitioner's guide to Krishna consciousness. It is good to have 3 months living in a temple. I mean, it is. Just, we are not Buddhist, but the Buddhists in Thailand have got some quite good idea that at least 3 months they want their sons, their boys, to live in a temple. And in this way, they live as monks. They go out barefoot to beg and so many things. Okay, we're not advocating that, but by living in a temple, we live under the guidance of others. And so we are learning how to surrender, how to do not what I want to do, but what others are guiding us to do. And by living in a temple, we get into good habits of getting up early, chanting our rounds, worshipping the Lord, only honoring prasada, and these activities which are there. And so there is a devotee. Is he with us here? He heard me talk, saying about how I appreciated the Bhakta course in my young days. There was a 3-month Bhakta course, as it turns out, run by ISKCON. But it was definitely good for me. And it was good, basically, for most of the devotees who came in there, because devotional life means that we want to leave the wrong thinking of the material world and the independence of the material world. We want to rely on the guidance of others. But one devotee, he heard me saying this, and then he said, he's keen to go to join the ISKCON Bhakta course. And I did say to him, if you tell the truth, and you should tell the truth, I said, I don't think they'll even let you join the Bhakta course if you say where you're connected, etc. And if they do let you join, because I want to join the Bhakta course, and if they do let you join the Bhakta course, you're going to have to be very more humble and tolerant and everything else, because they're going to teach different things than you have heard, and different emphases, different style of doing the bhajans and things. So we said to him, the best Bhakta course is come to one of the temples, the established temples of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, and be there, render service under their guidance, and follow the programs. There's no point in coming to a temple and not following the programs. The whole idea is that we do what we're meant to do and not what our mind tells us. And of course, there's resistance at the beginning. And a little while ago, devotees, they're asking, so what was your hardest part in devotional service? I can say the first 3 months were the hardest part in devotional service. Hare Krishna. But all sorts of things happen in the life of a devotee. So that, oh yes, okay, so I'm going to pass the microphone to Kumkum Devidasi, because she's got something prepared. And actually, I do have some things for the translators in our regular place where we put the text for translating. We do have some excerpts, but Kumkum has something, and we can ask her kindly to speak. Kumkum Devidasi.
Mike Dandabat Maharaj and all of the devotees here. And I myself actually did get the benefit of being in the ISKCON boot camps, which were so helpful for learning, as Maharaj was just speaking, all the things that we must do, and easy to see the things which we should not be doing. And of course, that also in such a nice environment helped us to understand how natural these changes in our life were. However, I never felt nearly as much happiness as when I came to the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. And I found this description of the mood in which we should be practicing. And it's in, I think I think that the translators have this in Search for Shri Krishna, beginning on page 157. And I'll just read it. He says it so beautifully. So Guru Maharaj is speaking of Srila Saraswati Thakur. And I never read any like guide of any kind, not a user's guide or anything, which emphasizes the mood in which we should be using the guide. And so that's why I appreciate this so much. So speaking of Srila Saraswati Thakur, he says, our Guru Maharaj laid the highest stress on developing a serving attitude. Otherwise, it is all bogus, all imitation. And people will say, oh, there is no Krishna there. These men are hypocrites. They are only dancing and making noise. They're not surcharged with a serving spirit. So only through service can we directly come in contact with Krishna. The real point is to practice how to attain the spirit of service, Vaishnava Seva. The Vaishnava is doing service, and we must imbibe from him the methods of attaining this serving attitude. Under the order of a devotee, we must practice to give ourselves. Self-abnegation and self-dedication are necessary. And that positive thing we will receive from a devotee. If children are given pen and paper in the beginning, it will not be fruitful. So a stone is given, and on the earth they practice writing. So in the beginning, we must try to practice how we can develop a serving attitude, dedicating habit. It is our innate wealth. That is our solace. And for those of you who don't know, innate means inside and natural to us. It's our birthright. This is our wealth. If we try to develop a serving attitude, the pure devotee will help us. It is said that if one is miserly, he should at least give some trash in charity to anyone. One says to a miser, at least give some ash to others and let your hand practice giving. So the serving spirit is a high thing. We must practice to give ourselves in the service of Krishna. We must not be afraid that we are not attaining the highest form of service in Nam Bhajan, the worship of the holy name. We should not think, why have I been asked to sweep the temple? Any ordinary man can do this. We must not be afraid of that. It is necessary for us to acquire a service attitude. Self-giving, selflessness, and self-forgetfulness are required. It is said that Socrates is an example of self-forgetfulness, and Jesus Christ is an example of self-sacrifice. And for what purpose? For the cause of the Supreme. And for that, we must have a positive connection with the devotee. Under his order, we will connect with the plane of service. Our energy may go to the transcendental plane only by his grace or meditation. So our Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, laid 90% stress on developing a serving attitude for preaching, and that should be our aim, whatever our position may be. So I'm very grateful for Srila Guru Maharaj to be trying to imbibe this mood of practicing in us. We're very fortunate to have this pure devotee and so many other devotees around us showing us why do we want to practice and how do we do that? How are we thinking when we're doing that?
Do you understand? Anybody understands? Okay, Harigo Papu. I'm happy you understand. Then I'm sure you are transmitting the understanding along with the Russian language. Hare Krishna. Okay, so I'm going to, instead of finding other quotes which have come to my mind, we've got a couple of quotes which are published, for the published means in that link for the translators. And first of all, I would like to, just from Srila Gurudev, very, very short, one short paragraph from the Benedictine Creed, excerpt 3 in the list. And Srila Gurudev saying, I can advise you to avoid the 10 kinds of offenses, and that will be very fruitful for you. But it is necessary to take advice. A teacher is always necessary, whether we reach a very junior class, a senior class, or a higher class. Even if we want to eat something, there also a teacher is necessary. Guidance is always necessary. Guidance is always good for everyone. This is the answer that was to a question in the section about answers to questions in the Benedictine tree. Hare Krishna. And this point about eating, even when we came to Krishna consciousness, we didn't eat the right things before. And even if you're vegetarian, what are the right things to eat? What are the wrong things to eat? And we are not vegetarian. How to eat? Even how to eat, it is necessary for guidance. We cook for Krishna, we offer to Krishna. These things that you know. And from Srila Gurudev still, but this is from the Divine Servitor. He's saying, in Jaiva Dharma, in Sri Nama, Nama Baso, Nama Paradvicha, which is the name of a small book, and in Sri Harinam Chintamani, the glories of the Maha Mantra have been chanted. However, it is necessary to maintain our spiritual lives under the guidance of Sri Guru Vaishnava. Otherwise, we cannot progress properly. So many things may come in front of us to cause disturbance. Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga are exclusively distributing this highest gift. And we are to find guidance from their bona fide representative. By sincerely wanting their gift, Sri Krishna will lead us to such a bona fide guide. And then just a little later on, you should both regularly read Srila Guru Maharaj's books and sincerely follow his guidance and advice. Everything is nicely presented by him in a short, conclusive, and sweet way. By focusing our energy only there, it will bring the highest transcendental fruit. So this, we've got our line of prayer, our line of hankering of what we should do. And Srila Guru Maharaj in the loving search for the lost servant. Well, yeah, see, so the absolute truth, the transcendental substance, Krishna, who is the object of our inquiry through faith, is endowed with all power and all consciousness. He is kind, benevolent, and sweet. His power is infinitely higher than ours, and we are infinitely smaller than him. our attitude should be that compared to him, that we are insignificant. What then will be the real symptom of a disciple? Who is a real seeker of the truth? What is the qualification of one who is searching after the truth? What is his attitude, his nature? And what will be the symptom of the guru, the guide? And then it starts a little bit of a longer excerpt that we've selected here, but Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, and this is, I mean, really, this is giving us the practitioner's guide to Krishna consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Tadvidi pranipatina pariprashnena sevaya upatekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Quote, one can learn the truth only by submissively approaching and inquiring from those who have seen and experienced the truth, and by rendering service to them, one becomes initiated into transcendental knowledge. So what is required? So that's the translation, as you likely know. And what is required? Pranipat, submission, and seva, service. Then the inquiry will be bona fide. Otherwise, it is a false transaction. It may have no value. It may all be a waste of energy. Genuine faith does not allow us to think ourselves at liberty to do anything and everything. If it is a real transaction, there must be some guidance from above. So, Shraddha, faith, is the most important thing for a devotee. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And well, I mean, it becomes a little long if I read more, but these points of pranipat, pariprashnena, and sevaya, then these are the essential points which Srila Guru Maharaj is describing. And then he says, one should be very attentive to these things. We should try to understand through self-searching whether we are really approaching divinity through faith. We must also see to it that our faith is real. Proper faith and credulity are not the same. Whether one is a bona fide searcher with real faith or one whose faith is adulterated must be considered. And there are symptoms of real faith. We have to consult higher authorities to guide us, because faith is a most important thing. If we are searching for truth, we are dissatisfied with our present acquisition. If we are searching for truth, we are dissatisfied with our present acquisition, what we've got now. Also, we are taking a risk to jump into a higher prospect. We must therefore take guidance carefully. We must be attentive as far as possible. We are told that our present reason is not sufficient to help us, that more than reason, Shraddha, is needed, and Shraddha also has its symptoms. Still, as far as possible, we shall apply our reason. So this guidance for Krishna consciousness is coming to seek for those who can give guidance, and we will do that with our eyes open, with the backing of the scripture and the Vaishnavas around us, and our inner tick mark that we're recognizing that, yes, here we are getting the guidance that is needed. Here we are getting what the predecessor acharyas, we understand that they expect of us to do. And so here we are in 2025, and we have to try to be attentive to Guru Maharaj and Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada's books, to read the books, and attentive to the association in which we read the books, so that we don't get caught up into any isms, etc., but only into Krishna consciousness, which is so broad. And so Guru Maharaj also protects us in this way. Sri Guru and his grace is a great book of protection against getting caught into all kinds of like sub-branches, instead of staying in the strict line of what is the descending truth and savor in the descending plane. So guidance is always necessary, even with what we eat. I mean, that for us in the West, for most of us in the West, I mean, it even starts there, because we didn't eat properly. And most of us, I expect everyone here, didn't offer their food from the time they were growing up. Very few devotees. Okay, I see one or two were born in devotee families, and maybe you've never eaten anything except prasadam. You're very lucky. But Srila Prabhupada, in one of his purports, says that we hear that the scientists say that the human body changes all its cells every 7 years. So if you eat only prasadam, your body will become spiritual, which is like a very beautiful way. But if you always ate Krishna prasadam, then you got a head start on so many. Hare Krishna. And I was just seeing the car of Akshata in Limerick. You have a very fancy car for Limerick, I have to say. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna. Govind, happy to have you with us, with other of the Limerick devotees too.
Yes, Vijay Prabhu and Shyam Sundar Prabhu is also here, yeah.
Oh, okay, beautiful. So to each of you, our obeisances and encouragement. You're doing so much in seva. You see, Saumya Sham and Vijayananda Prabhu, they're doing so much seva, seeing what is the opportunity and engaging in service, making a suitable place for devotees to come together to chant, read, take prasadam. So Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Katha, and Krishna prasadam, making beautiful facility. Hare Krishna. Jai Saumya Sham Prabhu. And in West London, we have to make it bigger to see who is seated there with Leela Moy. I can see Saraswati and Lavanya Moy and Shreyash. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Now we can see you because you're big on the screen. So now, please, a little contribution. So we are saying about joining a temple. Volunteers come and have practical guidance in Krishna consciousness. The theme of the day, no? Practitioner's Guide to Krishna Consciousness. Now you've heard about it. Here is the London Temple. The London Temple, very suitable place to learn the practices of devotional service and do devotional service in a devotional bubble, separate from the material world. No television, no newspapers, no Facebook, etc., except for devotional purpose, and 26 hours a day seva. Saraswati Devi Rasi, Lavanyamoi, please share something from the London temple. They're both going to say to each other. We can't hear you. The microphone is open, but maybe you don't have a microphone attached. Question. Can't we see your lips moving? Which microphone have you got selected? London Temple is very high tech. They got a whole box full of colors and sliders and all sorts of things. I can't hear you, no? But it's so high tech that we can only see them and not hear them. We can't hear you. You have to select a microphone, I think, or plug a microphone in. Anyway, we'll come back to you. You try to solve. This is a momentary problem. Or do we have no sound? No, we've got sound. We have sound. Can somebody speak? Oh, we've already had devotees speaking. Okay, then London, the Lord doesn't want us to hear, but I think he does. They just got to be more attention. Oh, Nazan knows how to fix electronic things. Give a little blessing, Nazan, for the London expert. Okay, double blessing with 2 hands. Good job. Hare Krishna. Has anybody else here been on a 3-month Bhakti course, or I'm going to say boot camp? Anybody? Nobody. Well, Chaitanya Moini, she maybe didn't go on an official.
Can you hear
course.
me?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
my goodness. I'm going to turn down our volume.
Just look at the iPad and tell me. Disconnect.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We can, even though it says that your microphone is off, we can hear you very well.
Oh,
No, this is another device.
strange.
This is another.
I
Hey,
am
all good.
connected with my phone,
Please.
but I can see you.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Don't put it too close. Well, what I can share, I mean, you have already said so many beautiful things. We have heard from our Gurudev. I mean, this process is very straightforward. It's not complicated. It's not rocket sciences. It's simply try to engage in seva, follow the instructions of Gurudev, do the seva under the instructions of Srila Gurudev, trying to develop or cultivate the right mood of service, love and devotion, and try to avoid offenses. And we are trying to do also here in the temple especially, it's a different setup, of course. It's a more intensive kind of practice because the devotees have some structure, some discipline, some programs that go on every day. So there is the daily programs, the worship, the boga offerings, all kinds of services are going on in the temple. So everyone is engaged. And that's a very kind of an important practice for the devotees to really develop a strong foundation in their spiritual life, which will help them when they move outside or they live outside somewhere else. So that's I find that it's quite an important practice. And Srila Gurudev used to, what's happening there? Srila Gurudev used to advise the devotees to, don't put our camera there, please. He used to invite the devotees to spend some time in Navadvip when he was staying there, like 6 months at least. So then, you know, they can have a learn and have a engaging service and be in the daily programs and everything. And it's very wonderful. It's very beautiful to be in the association of the devotees. And so we're trying to cultivate also it's been advised that we need to try to practice the 9 processes, cultivate devotion through the 9 processes of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Bandhanam, Sakyam, Padasevanam, Archanam, and come on. So hearing, remembering, hearing about the Lord's pastimes or anything related with the devotional, remembering the Lord, chanting His glories, engaging in seva, serving the Lord as a friend, serving the Lord as a servitor, giving yourself to the Lord, offering prayers, doing worship, and so on and so forth. So we are trying to cultivate, especially in the temple, the devotees get the opportunity to engage in all these kind of services on a more regular basis. So it's kind of nice to have that practice. And of course, trying to share what we are learning with others, sincere seekers that they are coming. And yes, so we are trying to follow Srila Gurudev, his service mood, his teachings, and so on and so forth. So yeah, life goes on in the service life, and associating with the devotees with sincere devotees will soften our hearts, and we are trying to remove all these layers and layers of anarthas that we have. So chanting the holy name and doing our personal sadhana, but as well as doing with the devotees is very important. We have heard all this, we hear this every day anyway. It's like we are reminding ourselves of our practice by hearing every single day. So we sing the songs, so we try to not do this mechanically. We try to really understand it and take it into our heart. The chanting of the songs, the reading, everything. So it doesn't have to become so mechanical or so, I don't know. We have to remind ourselves not to become like a robotic practice, but rather some real with the heart. So whatever offering we do, we try to give our heart and do it with the best mood and with love, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? So
Definitely.
and that is what Srila Gurudev has emphasized. We have to try to do it. It's more trying to cultivate humility, love, affection, and less all the external formality. So it's more of the substance rather than the form, right? So, but we still have to do some kind of rituals like the worship and all that, because we need to try to, we are conditioned souls. We need to try to cultivate love, and that we need engage our mind, our body and soul in some kind of practice so that we can develop some real taste. And that might take a long time. So depending how much are we willing to give from ourselves, right? So we have to think about that. And always we can do a little sacrifice. We can try to sacrifice a little time in our daily life for something devotional. I mean, we are reading every day. We are trying to accept everything that is favorable and reject everything that is unfavorable. We sing these songs every day and try to cultivate humility and tolerate with affection, like Srila Gurudev has advised us. And what else? Give honor to others without expecting honor for ourselves. All this, it's not just reading and from the lips out, but we really need to try to understand all these teachings with the heart and try to apply it into the practice, especially, you know, when we are in the company of other devotees. Then, or anyone, we have to apply these teachings. So it's not just learning a lot of slokas and reading all these books, but really try to take to heart the teachings of our gurus and apply them into our daily life. Anyway, I'm talking.
Well, you're reflecting what Srila Gurudev has guided us, and this is guidance. But there is a question here, Saraswati, but I think it's for Lavanya Moy.
Aha, very good.
It's the question from Shyama Priya. We have heard that one of the best ways to advance on the spiritual path is to become dear to the Guru. Could you kindly share how one can achieve this? Okay, Lavanya Moy David Asi.
Follow all the things it says that he just said. Surrender, humility, give honor to the devotees. Oh, and yeah, follow all these teachings. And you know, it's not that you have to be sitting in front of your Gurudev to be his favorite. If he has favorites, I don't know, but to be dear to him, he can see us a million miles away. You can mostly, it's not a location situation. It's to do with if you're serving nicely, he's in our hearts. He sees everything. And that will make him very happy if we're just following his directives, serving his devotees. Oh, sorry.
Jai. Sincere service with affection, and that secret that Srila Gurudev always stressing, humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. Those who have those qualities of service and those qualities of Chinadapi Sunichina, then we know Gurudev and Guru Maharaj will be pleased. And you have a quote, do you, Saraswati? I see you.
Sorry, we
had a phone call and I pressed the wrong
sorry, we lost the microphone. Can you hear us?
Oh, we heard everything. We heard everything.
Oh, good. I just wanted to say one last thing, that we develop our relationship with our Gurudev through service. And I have seen that many times, that it's very important to ask some service from Gurudev and make sure that he's happy with that service, and that relationship will grow. Otherwise, if there is no service, then not really any type of relationship.
Yeah, I remember when I was sitting in front of Srila Gurudev in Vrindavan, and I mean, he obviously gave me that realization, but I knew that I'm closer to him here, serving here, than I was actually. I mean, I've been there like 6 months. I've been there a long time, and I just knew that I was closer to him here, because when I'm doing service here, I'm thinking about him really a lot, because you know that's what it is about. And there you can just sit with Srila Gurudev and he's talking so much, and actually you're just, you know, maybe not feel so well. It's that separation mood, isn't it? So definitely he can he knows where we're at. And also what we were saying before is that about serving in the temple, taking opportunity yeah, we better not linger, because any moment we know that death will come, can come, and then we've missed the greatest opportunity ever, you know. And we don't know, even Srila Govinda Maharaj said, we don't know in our next life we be in a dog's body. We just don't know. We can't think, oh yeah, take it for granted. Yeah, my next life I'll be the devotees a bit more, We don't know, you know. So we should just dive deep into it now, because it's not so. It's simple, but it's not so easy to lose the attachments of the material world. I mean, we might think we have, but then we know when we get tested, we're still really deeply attached, you know. So to basically take another path and to go in basically the opposite direction of the whole universe around you is not simple, not easy, let's say. So we have to, in the temple, that's great, because yeah, you just, first thing you do, I mean, most people, they wake up in the morning, they just put the radio on, you know, then you're just getting the whole world in your face and your ears continuously. We wake up and we greet the Lord and chant his glories, and then the day continues, you know. It's like phenomenal, you know. So we better not lose that chance, you know. It's not a spectator sport.
And so, since we are promoting the temple seva, if any of you would like to come for 6 months to the Bhakti Yoga Institute, please do come. You will be most welcome.
And you will learn many things.
We learn together. We
The
all
prac-
students.
The practical practitioner's guide to Krishna consciousness. Beautiful. By the way, I can't resist to repeat what some of you heard on the Back to Basics, and I think the Brazil Zoom too. The translators, it's excerpt number 4. I've added it into the sheet. And it's from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 1. It's just so strong and such a big reminder to us about, you know, this urgency to try to be good devotees. So I'll give them just a second or two to find, for me to find it again too. Okay, we've got it here. We'll give a couple of seconds. But in the meantime, I can say that we're very happy that so many devotees are able to come together and that we can hear something of our Gurudev's wishes, because really Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, they are very broad as well as very exclusive. And so broad means everybody just add chanting Hare Krishna into your life. But Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev both are teaching the topmost service life. And so in general, we adjust our life by doing some puja every day, chanting our japa, offering all our food, cooking for Krishna, like this. But also, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, they're giving us very, very fine things. So we shouldn't think that just because they're not from 5,000 years ago or 500 years ago, that what they're giving is not the highest. And so this is an excerpt from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 1. And yes, I read it before twice this week. So anyway, I'm very happily reading it for a third time, because Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is magnanimity and sweetness combined. And now he's referring to the Ramananda Samvad, where Mahaprabhu is putting questions to Ramananda Roy, and Ramananda Roy is replying. And that meeting on the banks of the Godavari with Ramananda Roy was the only time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his real identity. He revealed it to Sri Ramananda Roy in that place only, and we never find it anywhere else. Rasa Raja Mahabhava Dui Eka Rup. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is both Radha and Krishna combined. The most secret portion of the truth was shown there only once, And we never find that it was expressed in any other place. The whole cause of existence is twofold. The predominated part of beauty and the predominating part of beauty. This has been taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srimad Bhagavatam. Not power or force, but beauty and love is the prime cause. This is a new grant to the world, which was never given to the world before. That the prime cause of the whole infinity is beauty and love. The prime cause of the whole infinity is beauty and love. And this is the speciality of Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just 3 more lines. So we need not be afraid. Apprehension is a superficial thing. It is Maya, illusion. In the depth of our life's achievement, there is no apprehension. All is love and beauty. Our future is guaranteed in a most optimistic way. Now, if that attracts you at all, then we really should try to be good students of Krishna consciousness. And you've all heard, I expect you've all heard, how Srila Guru Maharaj was with several of the leading devotees of ISKCON in the early 80s. And they're all asking so many things. And Guru Maharaj asked to them, so what is Krishna consciousness? He asked Guru Maharaj, saying to them, so what is Krishna consciousness? Because they're asking many things to Guru Maharaj. And they came up, one saying one thing. Sure. English. One is saying one thing, somebody is saying another thing. And all, some part of Krishna consciousness. But Srila Guru Maharaj said, Krishna consciousness is reality, and it is in your best interests to become acquainted with that. And here we've been hearing from Srila Guru Maharaj, what is that reality? Hare Krishna, the prime cause of the whole infinity is beauty and love. Hare Krishna. Anyhow, I couldn't resist to share it again. And this section has been rolling around in my mind for the last maybe 3 days, and including today. And it is amazing. Really, we can only scratch the surface of it. And it's easy to say beauty, is more than power, beauty is more than power. But actually, nature is extraordinarily beautiful here. Even in the material world, it's extraordinarily beautiful, the nature part of nature. And people, life is beautiful. People, they want happiness. But there's so many complications in the material world, we forget that. Beauty, not just like physical beauty, but beauty of heart. And all these things, when we think about it, it is the aspiration of everybody here to have love, affection, beauty, sweetness. So this is our Krishna consciousness as given by Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, as given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. And this is the channel that we are connected to. And again today, I heard Srila Guru Maharaj on another lecture because I was doing something else where I was able to listen at the same time. And Guru Maharaj stressing that we must really understand how fortunate we are in the course of billions of lifetimes this opportunity has come. What Mahaprabhu has given, and we just gave a little excerpt about what he has given that has never been given before, that this is being freely distributed with magnanimity, with the greatest generosity. Mahavaranya, Krishna prema pradayate. He can give Krishna prema to you all. And he's none other than Krishna, but his name is Krishna Chaitanya. And with a golden complexion, with a fair complexion. To that Lord, we give our obeisances. And how are we to connect there, and how are we to utilize our fortune, is to be serious students under the guidance of book after book, lecture after lecture, talk after talk, and all coming to this theme of service, happy service. Maybe not so happy at the beginning because we've got to change our own thought, but we know for a good reason. So service and affectionate dealings with the Vaishnavas. And so we must do our best to be good students and do all the good things, leave all the bad things, and try to encourage each other in that same line. And if you don't know what the good things are and the bad things are, 11 verses of Sri Upadeshamritam, 11 verses only. And what is Krishna consciousness also? 8 verses of Shikshastakam. And we know these verses, we know the content. But as Saraswati was saying, we need to do all of these things. And it's not just a matter of learning this, that, and the other. And why are we doing any daily program? It is how Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj want us to cultivate our Krishna consciousness. They've given us the ideal. And so everything we must try to do in service mood. Our japa should be in service mood. Our service should be in service mood. So yes, you have an open invitation all over the world. I thought it was a 3-month back to course, but London is offering a 6-month back to course. Okay. Double value. Hare Krishna. Anyway.
I'm saying that Srila Gurudev suggested 6 months,
No,
not me.
Srila Gurudev suggested 6 months. Okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. I've got some more quotes from Srila Gurudev in my mind, but we'll keep them for another day. And we were going to ask Chaitanya Moire, but I also realized that she's a translator, so it's a little tricky for her to maybe speak and translate. But she lived in the temple. She came as a sincere student. She came to the temple, came to Gurudev, under the guidance of Gurudev. I don't know how many months, at least 3 months, but quite some time, and was under their guidance. And when you couldn't get your microphone to work, I thought, yes, we should hear from Chaitanya Moire Virasi, because she's a student of, you can say, back to course of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj in the presence of Gurudev. Are you able to say a few words, Chaitanya Moire?
Maharaj, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Yes, in English? Yeah, of course.
Well, English, but somehow in Portuguese and Russian too.
Okay.
So we
I
leave
do
the
a little
Russian
bit,
part to Hari Gopal.
Okay, thank you. Maharaj, I had the great fortune to be in Navadip for almost, not only Navadip, as you know, Vrindavan, for almost 3 years in a row. Before I was just visiting for months, a certain amount of months at a time. And my greatest fortune was to be, of course, doing seva under your guidance, your good self. You were the seva donor to all the devotees that came from the West, and I had the greatest fortune to join several kind of seva from cleaning the rooms to see if devotees they were coming to see Gurudeva, coming to be part of the festivals, to decorate the temple. And the most beautiful time I had editing the discourses registered in audio from Srila Gurudeva, and anything that generous Vaishnavas like yourself would trust me to do. So unfortunately now I'm here living my material life, but still you accept my little translation seva. And actually, as Gurudeva used to say, or maybe I understood like that, and sometimes I tell my students that life in the temple is like being inside a big washing machine, where by by being rubbing each other, like each other's egos, having each other's egos rubbing. I don't know if that is the expression in English. You get polished, you get clean, and that is the truth, because our egos are so gigantic. We didn't, when we get there, we realize that how big is our egos, and by every day dedicating ourselves to the service of the Lord and trying to put our egos apart, and still having to confront with others, to see as a reflection, as a mirror, how big our egos are, like being offended because we didn't get offered this or that, or because we need to wash toilets or something like that, instead of appreciating all the service that was given to us. And how bigger fortune to clean one or many toilets in our ashram in Vrindavan or Navadip. Is just today I realize how wonderful was it. So in Portuguese, I change maybe language.
Yes. A summary in Portuguese. Okay, we can. Yes, how will I speak when you're speaking Portuguese? Okay, maybe you have to give the Portuguese at the end of the program, because actually the end has come. We know the end's going to come. Now the end has come. But the end for now, and as you know, in Bengali, people say ashchi. They don't say goodbye. And it's a very sweet expression because it means we're coming back. So actually, we can leave them. Udaran Prabhu, you can keep the Zoom running for those who wish to stay together. And Chaitanya Moyadiri can fill in the Portuguese just at the end of the Zoom. And what we just say now, from here, from ourselves and from each other, we just want to give our big jais to Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj, the giver of the guidance for Krishna consciousness. And so Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj Ki Jai, and to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, the giver of Gurudev again. And to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who really took very raw materials and taught how to eat, use the right hand, and what kind of food. And from the very beginning, very patiently, for such a so highly qualified person, coming to serve and cook for everybody and show from the very beginning, even how to write that A, B, C with a stone on the ground, as it were. ABC of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, most generous, Ki Jai, and to their Guru Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai, to Sri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, the present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So good to see you all. Now you will hear Portuguese for our Brazil section, and we'll continue on our journey for today's. The rest of our journey today is probably quite short because here is already 8:40 p.m. So we're going to meet with the devotees next door. Vanchakalpatrubhischa kripasindhuvye cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. With
Jai
appreciation.
Srila Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
This is Portuguese for you, Lila Moipo.